People who've experienced homelessness, what do you wish more people understood about being homeless? There are different levels of homelessness. First level is you don't have a place of your own but have friends or family you can stay with little no rent charges. This is usually temporary because you have a support system and is caused by something generally quick to fix. Lost a job, house had a sudden flood, etc. Second is you don't have friends or family to help, but you have a car or cheap RV fancy tent you can stay in. You can work to pay basic bills, use a gym membership for a shower, etc. Third is the worst. No job, no car, no help at all. You might get lucky enough to stay in an empty lot or tent city for a while but there's never consistency. The thing to know is 1 because of the terrible economy, there's more people at the first or second level, and 2 not having a physical address can make it damn near impossible to get your life together. Most job applications want a physical mailing address, not a PO box. Most places won't hire you if your clothes have a few holes. I've only been through levels 1 and 2, thankfully, but I know people who went through the 3rd level. It's hell. At first it's not bad, but eventually mentality changes. Some people get caught in that thought process of being homeless. Once you hit that point it's really hard to climb out. I've been homeless twice. The first time I was about 20 yo. My parents moved into my based on income housing. The rent went up and my mom is mentally ill so she stopped paying rent. I had to throw everything away. All my worldly things gone. I still remember giving away my favorite thing at that time, which was a beautiful picture of Comet Hale-Bopp. Broke my heart. I slept in a van in the winter and cried every night. Almost broke me. I thought it wouldn't ever happen again, then fast forward many years later and my wife kicked me out of the house. I've never been so close the edge of losing it. She tried to take my kids away too. I lost everything again but have been building myself from scratch. Remember to kind to the homeless. You don't know their situation. You don't have to give them money but you should be kind. Life is hard enough without someone being a jerk to someone down on their luck. I'm so sorry to hear you go through all that, man. You're truly a strong person for making it through all that and building yourself up. That it can happen to anyone. I came here to say this, but you beat me to it, lol. There's so much truth in that short sentence. Me and my ex were homeless in Western Washington for about 3 years, sleeping in the rain and snow and always keeping a watchful eye open for people who want to steal fuck you over in a heartbeat. Personally, I don't believe addicts who live on the streets can stay sober. My addiction went into full rampage mode while I was on the streets. I needed something to blunt me from my thoughts and the reality that I was facing day after day. Being looked at as less than by others. Having to steal food just to eat once a day. My list could easily go on. I just wish people would realize that homeless people are still human beings and to not kick someone while they're already down. The loneliness. The reason why some homeless people can be seen talking to themselves is because everyday people treat you like some garbage on the sidewalk. That we need more shelters that cater to the 16-20 demographic. My daughter's youth group is trying to raise money and collect donations for the only teen shelter we have in our community, and it's crickets. They can't create touching PR campaigns since they aren't going to broadcast the teens' faces, but when they did a similar one for the local animal shelter, we received way more support and I just don't get it. It's so frustrating how hard it is to get people to realize how serious it is becoming for teens. Yeah, we need better mental health facilities for teens also though. Imagine that once you're given the money it's not theirs anymore. I was a kid when I was homeless and I remember being cussed out because I used the money to watch a movie and eat popcorn by the guy that gave me it because it was meant for food in the lobby. Was actually a really happy moment to that point. Also, there are a lot more homeless children and teens out there that most would never notice because they couch surf with families that take them in for a bit, and the system in place to take care of children is a massive joke. I gave a $50 note to a homeless guy a few months ago and a colleague said he's just going to spend it on drugs. Cunt, so was I. He'll get more happiness out of it though. Go to make hard choices every day. You only have $2 in your pocket. Do I gas up or buy food? Gas gives me one more day of not being arrested by police for parking anywhere. I haven't eaten breakfast and lunch, but a churchmate promised to treat me for dinner, so gas. car was borrowed from parents so I could not sell it. It's hot as hell out here. Seriously though, being stuck out at night in super hot places with no way to cool down fucks with you hard. Haven't been homeless, but I've worked with and housed. Cash is king. Don't offer to buy things. They don't have room. Food is heavy to carry around. The money you give isn't yours anymore, and you have no claim on how they spend it. I bought alcohol for the homeless, drinking alcohol outside the gas station. Like, I know this world sucks. So if this makes a person feel better, then who gives a shit? I've been shamed by people for doing this, but I think we shouldn't kid ourselves and where the money is going. How easy it is. All that stuff you have, your job, home, boy, girlfriend, pets, car, all of it's just a bad day away from going up in smoke. The average American doesn't have any savings. And if you lose your job, it only takes a few missed rent payments before you're in trouble, and it might be totally out of your control. Maybe you screwed up some major life decisions, like the classic image of being homeless, or maybe some coked up douchebag bankers on Wall Street just crashed the economy again. It's not always poor decisions that lead to the streets. Sometimes making a good decision can leave you homeless. I hate the stigma. I'm homeless because I stood up for myself. Not because I made a bad choice. But even if I did, nobody deserves this. Used to be homeless. Never understood the attitude of don't give homeless cash as they'll just use it on drink drugs. Like, what the fuck else are we to spend it on? I spent every penny I panhandled on drink and got as fucked up as I possibly could. Why? Because when you're on the streets, all you want is an escape from reality. It also meant I'd sleep well. 2, I'd have very probably killed myself if I'd had to endure the 8 months I spent homeless sober. Yeah, and housed people barely get by without vices. It's super judgy and high-mighty to shit on unhoused people buying drugs and alcohol when you run to have a beer after a rough day at work. They're still human beings and are deserving of love and kindness. A good night's sleep is a rarity. This I was what another comment called tier 1 homeless, couch hopping, and just that was enough to keep me from sleeping well. Floors and couches are better than cars and cardboard though. Homelessness may not necessarily be due to drugs or bad decision making. It may be just honest good folks who have found themselves in a string of bad circumstances in life. It does happen to such folks more often than you think. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more Reddit videos.